Okay, my second video here is about Nearpod. Nearpod is something that my husband actually recommended to me, and I know that a lot of teachers in my building do use Nearpod. My husband, when he used to teach middle school, used Nearpod a lot more. I don't know that he uses it a ton now for his high schoolers, but for this assignment, I decided to look at it a little bit more. So right now we're in my Nearpod account, just in the Nearpod library. So Nearpod is kind of like slides that are interactive. So in the Nearpod library, because I have an account, I can just search for a topic that I might use in my class with my students. So we'll just search fitness. And when I find, or after I search fitness, I can see a whole bunch of different videos and slides presentations here, and they tell me like what grades they were created for. So I teach high school, so some of these like 6 to 12 grade slides or videos might work for me. This looks like it's a TED talk that somebody put into Nearpod, so that probably means that it just has questions and stuff to go along with it. And then I can also create my own Nearpod activities or assignments. So if we just click Nearpod up here to get me back to my homepage, I created a Nearpod for my STD unit with my students. So let's preview it. So in order to do this, I actually just uploaded or put into Nearpod slides that I had already made in Google Slides. And then I was able to just add in some Nearpod features. So this is a slides presentation over STDs that I created for my students. And in Nearpod, I can add little activities for my students to do within the slides presentation. So it's kind of a way to put a blended learning model into practice in my classroom, because instead of me having to be up at the front talking and lecturing about this slides presentation, I can assign it to them in Google Classroom through Nearpod. And it has these different like little markers for them to pass before they can move on. So this is just like find the match for the key term and its definition. So it's like a little elementary school matching game. And then there's other little games you can put in here and open-ended questions. So if they're reading through the slides like they should be able to type in the answer to the question. Now, since we're in preview mode, it lets me move on. But that's kind of the gist of Nearpod. So it's kind of nice because if you've already created a lot of slides for your classroom, you don't really have to reinvent the wheel to use Nearpod. But I think there's so much more to it than I even already saw. I like that it's live participation and student paced, so they're not really waiting on me or their classmates if they are somebody who wants to move ahead. I chose ISTE Standard 3.5D for this tool. Develop skills needed to lead and navigate change, advance systems, and promote a mindset of continuous improvement for how technology can improve learning. I think slides are a really great tool, but are also not very engaging. I notice a lot of times when I'm lecturing and showing a slides presentation, if I don't have something for my students to do, they're not actually really listening to me that often or for the whole time. So Nearpod is kind of a different thing for them to do, still using slides and still presenting them information, but allowing them to kind of move through that information at their own pace. So I think it will be a good tool to add to my